see rain, John. Health officials urging caution against large gatherings this holiday.
Also, what a difference 24 hours makes, right? That rain now gone, but what is in store for your New Year's Eve forecast?
Live from ABC 7, this is Eyewitness News.
Southern California got a good washing, didn't it?
Oh, boy. We sure did.
Good morning to you. I'm Brandy Hitt.
And I'm John Gregory from Leslie Sykes. Boy, the commute in today, Brandy, so much nicer than yesterday. Yeah, it was scary yesterday. We're going to talk about all that. We want to talk about the weather, of course. First of all, let's check out Brianna Ruffalo.
Yeah, good morning to you guys. Much different than yesterday morning, so hopefully your commute will be a little bit easier today. You may see some fog this morning as you're heading into work. But other than that, the streets are a little damp. We had a couple leftover showers last night. But you shouldn't really be expecting rain this morning. We may see a couple areas closer to some of the mountain communities, especially out toward the east, areas of the IE, closer to the foothills. We might get a sprinkle or so this morning, but temperatures are colder than yesterday. So if you're stepping out, you're still going to want to be bundled up. We're at about 44 degrees in Van Nuys, 45 in Ontario, and about 49 degrees down into Hemet. So some cold temperatures this morning. We're finally beginning to dry out. And you can see here on our live media Doppler 7000 HD. And I'll put it on pause for you. You can see nothing really left right now. We may see a pop-up shower in the mountain communities as we head into the morning. But we'll have your New Year's Eve, your New Year's Day forecast. That's all coming up. For now, I'll put it back to you guys.
All right, Brianna, thanks. And let's get a look at traffic. And boy, what a better situation we're dealing with compared to yesterday. The freeway's looking great this morning. We do have a partial closure we'd like to tell you about at Diamond Bar, the 57 North at Diamond Bar Boulevard. The off-ramp blocked due to road work. The road work usually wraps up around 5 a.m. We'll keep you posted on that. But if that's the biggest concern we have, we're in great shape. Taking a look at the Caltrans camera. This is in Monrovia, the 210 west of Mountain Avenue. And you can see everybody looks like getting to where they need to go.
Okay. That looks good. Also, so does this happening right now. It's crunch time on this New Year's Eve for all of the volunteers who are out decorating those floats that you're going to see at tomorrow's Big Break Parade. Let's go to Eyewitness Reporter Mark Road with Steve Black in Irwindale with all the final press. I bet you it smells heavenly in there, Mark. Good morning.
Brandy, good morning to you. And I know I'm supposed to say that these floats look beautiful, but this morning, I mean it. I mean, this is incredible. What a difference a week makes from Monday to now today. Just hours to go. You may remember earlier this week, the Louisiana float was covered in scaffolding. This morning, it is just about finished, and it looks amazing. Over to our left, the UPS store. This is one that 2 years ago won the Sweepstakes Trophy. Final preparations now underway. What you're looking at there, some of these 60,000 roses around the base of this float. Going to be live this morning is Ryan Gaddy. You may wonder, how do you become involved in this to be a floral designer for the Rose Parade? Well, your parents own a flower shop in Kentucky. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Yes, that's correct. 20 years ago, my mom and dad just decided to take over a local florist that we have in Louisville. Back home, it's a small little town, and then the next year later, they decided to come out here to California and work with a float company. And then they got hooked up with Jim Hyde and Tim out here. And after that, ever since then, it's been magical. Past 20 years, and 10 years for me especially. Just a family that I've been able to grow. And we skipped that year last year because of COVID, and I'm glad to be back. Especially, I miss this family. It's home, like home.
Absolutely, and everyone's working right now. We're seeing live here all of the volunteers that are surrounding this float. You're involved not only with the UPS store, but also the state of Louisiana Office of Tourism. And let me tell you, they look beautiful. Before we send it back to the anchors, have you slept this week? And if not, when will you?
I have not actually. And it's going to be a few more hours for us. So we'll probably sleep here maybe 9 o'clock tonight. Now that it's in the morning, so we're ready to get to sleep.
Ryan Gaddy, we appreciate it. Just one more time, say Louisville.
Louisville.
All right, John and Brandy, we'll send it back to you. Coming up during our next hour, I want to show you the Donate Life float. That one always has so much meaning behind it. I took a peek at it. It is just incredible. It's the kind of thing that gives you goosebumps when you really think about what's behind it, all of the stories. Cruising down Colorado Boulevard tomorrow, sunshine in the forecast.
Yay.
Can't wait. Send it back to you.
So glad that you're there, Mark. You're right about the Donate Life Club. Looking forward to your next live report. Appreciate it all. Heads up here if you are planning on attending the parade in that sunshine, maybe the Rose Bowl game or even the Float Fest. Ticket holders must show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test. Now, for those of you who are lining up along the parade route, proof of vaccination is not needed there. Health officials, though, are encouraging it. And even though this is all outdoors, masks are required for the event. If you'd like to grab a cup of coffee and snuggle up with a blanket instead and watch all that action from home, we've got you covered here. You can watch with us live right here on ABC 7 tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Meanwhile, CDC says 62% of the country is now fully vaccinated, but only 33% have gotten a booster shot. And in the coming days, the FDA is expected to broaden the Pfizer booster shot. That includes kids ages 12 to 15.
Also here in LA County, more than 20,000 positive cases were reported yesterday. That's triple compared to where we were a week ago. Still short of the 30,000 a day we saw about a year ago. All of this, of course, comes ahead of New Year's Eve. Eyewitness News reporter Tony Cabrera, he has more on that live in the newsroom. A lot of people just hoping to put 2021 in their rearview mirror.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nationwide, though, records continue to be broken, unfortunately, with an average of 316,000 new COVID cases a day in the U.S. Hospitalizations also climbing, with 90,000 Americans admitted each day. That's twice as much as last month. This is why health officials are cautioning against large gatherings tonight. If you are gathering, experts say vaccination status is important, although, as we all know, it isn't completely risk-free. They say there are two things to keep in mind: the size of your gathering and what you do before and after. Health officials say small gatherings with vaccinated people are considered low-risk events. They recommend masking and physical distancing leading up to the event, then keeping in mind the risk of possibly exposing people after the event. Bottom line, the more people you're around, the more risk you take, not knowing everyone's health status.
What I would suggest people do not do